Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Bushnell Presents Prairie Pursuit. I'm your host, Greg Toogood. This week, Dad and I are heading north to a brand new zone with our 2020 mule deer draw tags. Super excited to get into some new territory, explore some new ground, meet some new people, and see if we can find, that 200-inch deer. Maybe something with some character. We're really looking forward to the hunt.
Bushnell presents Prairie Pursuit, brought to you by Bushnell Canada. Never miss. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. JB's Sausage Supply. Visit jbsausagesupply.com. North Pro Sports, performance archery and arms. Trail Runners K9 Training Center and Labrador Retriever Dogs and Puppies. Holt Lake Lodge Adventures.
So Dad, Jacob, and I, we head up. Buddy put us up in his cabin, and we started to explore. We're super excited, but also a little bit nervous because it's brand new ground. It's a zone where I've never actually hunted before, so we had our work cut out for us.
Okay, so we got into just an absolutely beautiful spot here. Got some water running, a little creek running through here. We're going to go where the action is. Anyway, beautiful walk in here. It's beautiful country. That's super cool. A lot of deer coming across right now. I don't know why. It's pretty dry. So we're gonna go check out a new area. It's got a lot more deer and see if we can get the sharpshooter one here.
We saw hundreds and hundreds of deer. And Dad and I just kind of looked at each other like, holy smokes, I've never seen a population like this. Just massive amounts of mule deer and whitetail. It was stunning to see the amount of animals out there.
I don't know how we'll get in on them, but...
So where we were seeing these hundreds of deer, it was posted land.
Really nice. Where is it?
We didn't really want it to be over that early anyways.
How's the hunt going, Dad?
It's great. We've saw a lot of countryside today. Lots of deer. Went for a gigantic walk. Sat for a bit. Decided it wasn't going to be a great evening. So we're heading back to the truck. And I'll be darned if there isn't the big bucks down there. About 50 yards from the truck. And a couple of does and falls right around. I got a good buddy that says, when you're out hunting, a good captain should never leave the ship. Deer will come right to it. And they did.
All right, so we are on day 2 of our draw mule deer hunt, and we have seen piles of deer, hundreds of deer, and we got a tip from a friend that gave back road directions to a slough bottom, and I don't know, when we first showed up here, we couldn't hardly see anything. closer glance, we could see some ears, and now we're up to 8, 9, 10, 11 deer in this little slough bottom. And he was telling us that there is a big drop time buck in this area, so we had to check it out. There are deer in here, but we haven't seen him yet. But we've got a plan for tonight, but for now we're gonna keep an eye on this little slough and see what we can find.
You should mark this spot on your phone. It's just in case the rut's on it here. If you do have to come back rifle, it's a good slough to check. If you look in here. Yeah. That big guy's gotta be laying in there.
They're all waiting for him.
Where's Dad? He said to go without him. That came from the left, right?
Okay, we're on the morning of day 3 on our muzzleloader mule deer draw tag, and we didn't want to get out in October to learn the area a little bit, hopefully get an opportunity to fill our tag with a muzzleloader. And we're actually going to see if we can spot something out in the field, and then we'll go from there. Really good potential, excited to get up this morning. Actually wasn't too bad to get out of bed this morning because we know what might be out in the field, so looking forward to seeing what we see here.
Alright, so we're on our 3rd night of our mule deer draw. It's crazy windy, cold today, everything froze up for the first time this fall. Hard. Got a really good wind for where the deer have been going, moving out of and into the field for feeding. Dad and Jacob are set up. We tipped them up tonight because they usually have a pretty good track record together. Spot ourselves and set up for about 100 to 150 yard shot, maybe 175. Hopefully we see something tonight. Okay, so we're on the morning of day 4 with our muzzleloader for draw muleys. It's crazy cold. It's the middle of October.
So Dad, Jacob, and I would go up. We gathered up a bunch of tumbleweed. We made a tumbleweed blind on the fence line, and the deer, followed the script. They came right out where they had been walking from the lake and the river, and came right into the field that they'd been feeding in the previous nights.
We've seen them just like endless deer.
We saw some beautiful bucks hop the fence. They would come and go. They knew maybe something was up. The wind was swirling a little bit. We saw some giant mule deer, probably 170, 180 inch deer. But we had a very short window of time to get in on some posted land where there were hundreds of deer and where we could be selective on the animals that we were after. But now we're down to 10 minutes. So 10 minutes left in the day of our last 10 minutes that we have to hunt this particular land. And my heart started racing. I couldn't sit still.
Ready? If you want to, you're gonna have to now. Shoot him.
We made a tumbleweed blind on the fence line.
We've seen them just like endless deer.
But now we're down to 10 minutes. So 10 minutes left in the day of our last 10 minutes that we have to hunt this particular land. And my heart started racing. I couldn't sit still. I look and there's 2 beautiful mule deer bucks coming over the horizon, standing there. They've skylined themselves in the hill and they're walking right towards Dad and Jacob. And it looks like they're standing right on top of them.
Is he a shooter? Yeah, but he's coming right at me.
Should I take him?
I don't know, your choice.
I'm not gonna hit him.
If you want to, you're gonna have to now.
Shoot that deer. That's the one.
Shoot him.
Something spooks the other buck, runs right in between Dad and the deer he was gonna shoot.
Shoot him.
Shoot.
At the same time, Dad's buck spins, turns, and then all he's got is a butt shot. And he opts out to take that shot.
Couldn't get a shot, eh?
Oh, he was right straight at me.
I know he was hanging his head. I know he was feeling bad. I think he was beating himself up a little bit for not taking a shot, but it was the right thing to do.
Son.
So now we're into November.
We are in the last week of our draw mule deer tag.
If we find one, I bet you he's not going to want to move very far.
It's been interesting so far. We've had some great chances. The last time we went out, we had a really hard time finding a deer over 100 inches. We've got the week off here. We've got 5 days left of the season. There's a record snowfall that just happened. It's going to be tough to get around, we know that. But it's go time. There's tons of snow. We're going to be able to see where the deer have been moving. We might not be able to get to where we want to go, but we're going to see where the deer have been going. So we're going to make some tracks. Hopefully we can catch something out. Hopefully the rut is gearing up, is going. We haven't seen that yet. Hopefully we can get Dad a buck this year, and we'll cross our fingers that we can put a couple in the back of the truck this week. But here we go.
Those are mule deer, the other one's a whitetail.
The deer weren't feeding in some of the same places. Their patterns had changed a little bit because of the snowfall. It's blowing, it's drifting, it's snowing. It's absolutely miserable out. It was just tough.
Snow blowing like crazy this morning, and it's cold and windy. Awful.
We could hardly hike into the areas that we wanted to get to.
Grind up here.
We get to this spot, there's a buck there. Dad gets set up. He takes 2 seconds to make the decision that that's the buck that he wants to fill his tag on. Puts the crosshairs on his buck. I got the camera on, and Dad squeezes the trigger. That deer goes maybe 10 or 15 yards, tips over.
Hit!
He's using the Savage 308. He's got the Bushnell optics. Anything that he pulls the trigger on with that firearm and those optics, it falls.
What was that all about?
Driving this coolie, and all of a sudden there, big buck standing there.
That was awesome.
That was. I didn't think we would see anything this morning. I was thinking my bed looked really good.
Instead, you shot a nice mule deer buck.
Mule deer, yeah, in the middle of a blizzard.
That's windy.
All right, let's go get your deer.
Man, that happened quick. This way?
Hey, Don't go too far.
Oh, how about right here beside me? Oh man!
Awesome, Dad.
Amazing!
Congrats. Awesome job, Dad. Nice shot.
Look at the day we're having. Oh, amazing.
When he got his hands on that buck, he was pumped.
Holy.
All right. I did not picture this day like this.
A nice little muley. Healthy sucker. This is my Savage Model 11 that I just love. Seems every time I pull the trigger on that thing, something dies. Yeah, it's just amazing.
So now it was my turn. So we go out the next morning, and now we're on our own. You know, buddy's got to go to work, and Dad and I had taken the week off to get the hunt in, and this was our last chance at it as well.
All right, we're on day 2 of our last week of our mule deer draw.
The temperature dropped after the snowstorm blew in the day before when Dad got his buck. It got crazy cold.
After a crazy snowstorm that's limited our access to most places, we now have another blizzard starting to have my down smoke fill on this mule deer tag.
Dad dropped me off in the truck on the side of the grid. I said, film me walking through the fields. That's the hunt that I want. That's the way that I've done this so many times before, and that's what I want to capture. And I just started hiking up. I started pushing one chunk, one bluff, and going to the next one and searching for sign until I got to this one. I just did it over and over and over until I got to this one bluff where you could see the deer tracks, you could see moose tracks. It was something was going on in this particular bluff. So when I stepped in, there was mule deer pushing out the far end of the bluff. There was whitetail going on another end. There was moose, 2 moose come out one side. And as I walked in and continued to walk through this bluff, a mule deer, buck, and a doe walked right down towards me.
All right, that's it, Dad. Buck down right here.
I didn't have the camera, so I couldn't set it up. I really wanted to get this deer on film.
We are done.
That was a bit of a gift, I will say, walking into a bush and scaring the animals out and then having one come right towards you. That's the way that it worked out.
I walked in here, it's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to put the miles on my legs, as tough as it is, get into areas where nobody's been, because everybody's driving the roads. You can't even hardly drive the roads, you can't get anywhere. And this guy popped up and came right through. He is not a giant buck by any means, but he is super cool. Everything that I saw on him, I loved.
I had to shot him.
I just absolutely loved everything about him.
He is cool.
He's definitely not a big scoring deer. I absolutely love everything about him. I love the way that the hunt was. I got to walk, I got to do it from my feet. I've never shot in like a non-typical type of a deer like this before. So that's what makes this super special. Just an awesome buck. I'm so happy.
I'm using my Savage 270. I love that rifle. It's got the Forge, Bushnell Forge optics on it, and we've got our Hornady ammunition. One shot with Dad's deer, one shot with my deer.
Super cool. We're done. We're done. That's it.
What a character buck, man.
He's pretty cool, eh? Didn't go 20.
No, 15.
Thanks, Dad.
Hey,
one shot, Hornady ammunition, Bushnell optics, Savage Arms. Got the job done. Dad and I put in for our mule deer draws this year. We pulled a tag in a different zone, and unfortunately I had a couple of buddies to get us onto some areas. They put in a lot of time to get us some permission to hunt on land, to get us into some areas where some deer were, and the rest was up to us. It was up for Dad and I to put in the time ourselves to get out and do some work. In the last few days, we put in a pile of miles on the truck, on our feet, and in the snow. We waited till the coldest day possible to finish our hunt. And on this super cool buck, I'm so happy. Dad got his buck yesterday, and it's an amazing day to remember. And now I've got mine. I'm so happy. The opportunity to be out here with Dad, to hunt with friends, to check out new territory, to hunt new ground, and go after these beautiful animals. I'm so happy. I'm so lucky, so fortunate to do what we're doing. That's a wrap. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Bushnell Presents Prairie Pursuit.
Bushnell presents Prairie Pursuit, brought to you by Bushnell Canada. Never miss. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. JB's Sausage Supply. Visit jbsausagesupply.com. North Pro Sports, performance archery and arms. Trail Runners K9 Training Center and Labrador Retriever Dogs and Puppies. Holt Lake Lodge Adventures.